Smear campaigns are efforts to maintain reactive abuse so that the person can justify themselves. And so they're going to say things about you that are intended for your audience. It's not really about controlling the narrative at this point. They're literally saying things to try to insult you, to induct you into a back and forth. Because you see, they're trying to trigger you. You see, the triggers that you've overcome in your life are your own demons, represent, transformations in your being that put you into a sense of threat, put you into a sense of insult or being disrespected. And so toxic and manipulative people have spent a lot of time studying you. And so they know the things to say that are cutting, that literally try to devalue your manhood, that literally are trying to make you feel less than them because they're struggling. You see, the person that self-sabotages and destroys a good relationship has to go through a significant ego struggle, where things didn't pan out with the new supply potentially, or their circumstances now disalign with the person that they've been pretending to be. And so this person with this highly curated and polished public image has to deal with the fact that they are so undesirable that they can't maintain a relationship with somebody of the highest level of integrity, kindness, compassion, empathy, and love. And so, they would have to create a counter narrative that depicts the polar opposite of reality in order to maintain their toxic disposition, the very disposition that disqualified them. So what's real important is that you eliminate any intermediaries, people that are trying to bring that toxic energy to your life, people that are essentially operating as flying monkeys, people that are interested in the gossip of it, people that are, feasting on your suffering, people that might have had, dark perspectives about you or share similar toxic proclivities, or people that are so distrusting that they're always trying to negotiate who a person is, that they might admire and like you, but they're waiting for you to slip up so they can devalue you, and so those types of people will start messaging you, and they're grandiose. Anybody that gets invested in your business and you don't even know who they are, and they're going to start messaging you to talk to you about your relationship as if it's any of their damn business. Those are toxic people. Those are ignorant people that lack empathy, somebody that has no compassion, because it takes a real idiot to try to talk to somebody who's heartbroken and relay information and get involved and invested. Those are not good people. And so you just block them and get rid of them. The real key is just to go no contact, not to punish the other person. Going no contact is not a punishment to somebody because you really love and care for them. It's mainly for yourself, that you have to just stop the insanity. You have to stop invalidating the bullshit that people say about you, because it's very obvious to kind of see who's bitter, who's playing the victim, and who's in the wrong. It's really easy. You can kind of see who provided, who, sacrificed, who worked, who did all the things, and who took advantage, who used who lied, who cheated, who deceived. So there really isn't any merit, because anybody that can't distinguish that for themselves is just a low-functioning person. Is just somebody that you don't need to persuade. Like, somebody that could be swayed by a smear campaign is not somebody that knows you, is not somebody that cares to know you. Anybody who lives as someone who decides who you are in narratives, people that are influenced by smear campaigns are only toxic people. Because anybody that can depreciate and devalue somebody that they don't know without evidence is a low-functioning, low-intelligent, low-integrity individual that is literally just undeserving of having someone like you in their life. And so just consider that smear campaigns will clean up various things, because you don't need people having access to you who would ever, disrespect you when you're somebody that's committed to good things in life. And if they can't see that, then they're just not somebody you should have around. So if somebody could listen to you, they can experience what it is that you're doing, People that look to find faults in others are toxic. That's all there is to it. Somebody that looks to find faults in other people is a toxic person. Like, that's what they do. Toxic people, they have toxic emotions. That just means that they're in a constant stress state. They're in a constant internal devaluation. And so since these emotions are on, that becomes the filter through which they examine others. They're hierarchical. They look to put people down instead of lift people up. And they feast on these types of scenarios. And so a lot of these toxic people love gossip. They love a car wreck. They love to see a shit show. They love to see suffering. They misery likes company. And so the people that align with smear campaigns, the people that think it's okay to say disparaging and disrespectful things that attacks the character of other people are people that you need to. So don't worry about smear campaigns. Like, you really have to let go. These are just efforts to undermine your mental health, to punish you, to continue the sabotage campaign that was already being waged against you in the background. And these people brought a lot of evil into your life. These people devalue you. They disrespected you. These people, aligned with darkness over the light, and they have no credibility, and their words are empty and lies. And so there's no need to justify yourself. There isn't any need to, try to pick apart the lies, because that's how they manipulate. You see, one of the ways that people manipulate you is by frustrating you by lying. By denying your reality is just gaslighting. And so the manipulator is just gaslighting. See, that's all they're doing, is they're purposely fabricating things about you that they already know are not true. Like, they already know it isn't true, and that's why they're saying it. You see, they say untruthful things because of how much it bothers you. And so they do that all the time. See, the manipulative person will talk in this way on a consistent basis in order to continue to undermine your mental health. They orchestrate baiting conversation in order to fulfill the dark narrative of you being controlling, of you not listening to them. Because who the hell wants to listen to gaslighting? Like, who's gonna validate toxic shit? Well, the new supply, that's who. And so the reason why they go behind your back, cheat, and betray you is because they cannot get any validation for their toxic behavior. And so they gotta talk to toxic people about you. They gotta try to poison you. They gotta find somebody that's willing to listen to their latest victimhood. And these types of toxic people always triangulate. They're always going to use another man to try to humiliate you. It's like a ritual, you see. And so when you find out the person that they have been going behind your back with, you're gonna find that this person represents what they perceive as missing with you. If they think you're weak, it's gonna be some misogynistic alpha idiot. They think you're too nice, that they're gonna have a psychopath. And so they're gonna have an abusive, toxic bastard, because that's the only type of man that would dare, try to steal somebody's woman. The only kind of man that would ever talk to a woman who's in a relationship is the lowest common denominator, a complete dirtbag. And so, that's why it's so easy to let go. It's like you get betrayed, you feel the horrible emotions that they intended for you to feel. The problem is that you just get back up. And, that's bewildering, because, the toxic person feels permanently wounded because they're too ignorant to let go. And so, like, somebody that cannot let go of resentment stays toxic. And so they think that if they can get you to hurt the way that they do, that they're going to cause the same damage, but they can't. Because you see, because they're unwilling to let go, they just keep what they justify. And so all the toxic emotions that they justify executing is their punishment. That's hell, that they create a prison in their own mind, because these emotions and all the justifications that they hold on to throughout their entire lifetime, all the people they hurt and betray, is a graveyard of justification that they're not willing to let go of. See, they're too afraid of looking within, because the skeletons in their closet are what are scaring them. But the thing is letting go disappears the skeletons. There's just forgiveness, that they just don't know what they're doing. So, you know, smear campaign, schmear campaign.